yours, in 2 years, Mr. Longhorn would call freehold and have the county sheriff put me out because I can't pay the taxes. If they gave me one, I couldn't pay the taxes. I think it's ridiculous. Week in and week out, these people just want their homes. Some of these ladies probably wouldn't even take $1 million. It's principle. Me, I have none. I take the $1 million. But to not offer them money, people, they're going to make millions, you know that? They're making millions. How much money are they going to make on Miss Hogan's property? She has a corner property. They're going to sell probably 10 condos from $700,000-800,000 on. It's ridiculous what people do to the public. And why is it ridiculous, public? Because we allow it. They are elected officials. You are subjugated to us. We put you there, believe it or not. But because of our apathy, ladies and gentlemen, they become big and bad and say, we don't have to do it. Look what's in here. There's 14,000 voters in Long Branch. Look what's in here. Do you think they care what we say? No, put some of the voters in here. What do they care about who's in here? When people are lined up down the street and across Broadway where the direct riches have begun to direct traffic, then they'll listen. But until that day, we're stuck with it, people.
Mr. Cooper.
Sir. Yes, sir.
You got to press forward, sir.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
In fact, like I said, I came up here to discuss something else. One other comment. Mr. Aaron.
Yes, sir.
Y'all should not come up here unprepared for Mr. Aaron because he's very, very astute. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Denise Hoagland, 68 Ocean Terrace. I came here with nothing to say and I have a whole bunch to say. First, I'd like to go back to Mr. Aaron, your comments to Mrs. Peterson, because sometimes I truly think that Mrs. Peterson's statements get underrated. And tonight she spoke about how back in 2000 there was no contract. And I can't tell you how many times I heard about Mrs. Hoagland, there is no contract for your property. I heard that until last year, 2005. So yes, this city council had a decision until there was a signed and completed contract in 2005 to be able to get out of this. They most certainly could have, and they chose not to. Thank you. I'd also like to say that, Ms. Biddle, I don't know if you've been to a debate before, but the debates generally are run in about an hour and a half, 2 hour period. Generally, there's only about 3 to 4 questions that actually get answered by each candidate, depending on how many people are running. So just, a little FYI.
Good evening. My name is Austin Gelson. I live in 385 Ocean Boulevard. That's the Seaverage Apartment. I'd like to ask Mr. Brown that in the... Yes, sir?
No, it's all right. You're Gelson, G-E-L...
Z-E-L-Z. Yeah.
Thank you.
Isn't the public portion of the meeting protected by the First Amendment of the Constitution with respect to any particular topic that a citizen wishes to bring up?
Used to be. Used to be.
You can bring up whatever you want. But sir, as the chair, I made that statement as acting president. I made that statement because of the nature of the city going through an election in less than 2 weeks.
Can't do it.
I think that's irrelevant.
Can't do it.
It might be irrelevant as long as I said it in the chair. As long as I said it through the chair, not to ask those direct questions that when we in the city, and not run by the city, but there will be 2 forums if you want to ask of this candidate or any other candidate, because also as was stated, the other candidates are not getting their fair share of those questions. And to ask Ms. Biddle where she's sitting in the capacity to conduct this council meeting As chair, I ruled that way, and I would rule that way again, sir, not to allow that, not for her, for any other candidate.
What's to stop any of the candidates from coming here and participating in this meeting?
No
It's-
problem
it's
for their
very
statement. Once we have a public meeting, for them to make statements, that's fine. But for a person of the audience to come and direct it to members of council that is irrelevant to council meetings, I vote no. My prerogative as chair.
Is there any limit on free speech?
Yes.
Tell me, Mr. Chairman, what is it?
Can't
Certainly can't yell fire in a theater.
That is correct. We're not doing that.
And it's public assembly, sir.
The council and its president can control reasonably public participation. There is no constitutional carte blanche to run rampant over public discussion.
Well, I agree with that.
And everything
It
has
is
to do with...
question of the chairman. I agree with that, yes. One other, not too minor problem, is that I live right on the boardwalk and walk it almost every day. I appreciate the Public Works Department's efforts to patch up some of the worst spots, and there's still many more
On the boardwalk?
on the boardwalk. There are many more left, and I would ask if you could somehow expedite and have inspection of, and I could point out some specific places where the boards are up and are in danger. Thank you.
Chair, Public Works Department, board tonight, he's on the talk, on the red seat, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Brian, you ought to stop us.
You can make an exception.
No, absolutely not.
I think Councilman Brown is absolutely wrong.
All right, Pat.
I haven't been here for a long time, and I'm Mr. Bernard Horsey of 36 Second Avenue. I'm here for one thing tonight. It's the theater. Who owns this theater?
Which theater are you talking about?
The great big one that used to be the Paramount in Long Branch.
It is owned either by the Broadway Arts developer, or it is still owned by the Sippert or the Katz family in one entity or another. I'm not sure if the title's been transferred to that.
Who are they going to transfer it to?
Well, originally they'll probably transfer it to the Broadway Arts, and then we are in the process of negotiating whether it will be transferred to a non-profit entity that will be established, or whether they will continue to own it, or whether it ultimately might even be owned by the city and leased down.
I recommend that you put it on the ballot and let the people of Long Branch know who's going to own that theater. Thank you.